What's going on, guys? This is just getting more and more terrible and worse and terrible and disgusting. And it's all allegations, but there's tapes. So no different than the Cassie tape, which looks terrible. And I don't care what she did. This is another one of those cases where it's like, okay, if there's a tape of this kind of stuff, I don't care what the explanation is. I don't care. Straight to jail. Brett Armisen. Straight to jail. Full interview. Diddy court witness says he saw 8 sex tapes with at least 2 celeb minors. This is very bad. This is very bad. Let's just get into it.
Because my next guest just testified before a federal grand jury. He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties. His name is Courtney Burgess, and he says a friend gave him 11 flash drives that belonged to the late Kim Porter. And if you follow this story, you'll know
who's the friend? Who is this guy?
Kim Porter is Diddy's ex-girlfriend and the mother of 4 of his kids.
These are all questions.
On those drives, the witness says 8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy freak-offs or parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir. A memoir.
Is this the one that came out?
Is fake. Courtney Burgess told his story on a podcast before he told the grand jury today, and after he told the grand jury, and I mean immediately after, he booked it over to my set, and he and his attorney talked to me. I should tell you that he was very limited in how much detail he could go into about his testimony. And because the 8 people in the videos, the 8 celebrities in the videos were allegedly victims of sex crimes, we know who they are, but we will not be naming them, famous or not. Here now is my conversation with Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell, who's his attorney, beginning with the question of whether the participants in the video even knew they were being recorded. Were there any cameras in places where you'd assume privacy, like bathrooms?
Well, I've never been in this house, but the picture, yes. That's where it took place, yes.
You're aware of surreptitious cameras that were recording in private places like bathrooms?
I didn't see the cameras. You could tell how the person was angled. I knew that it was a camera there because I was there. You know, I wasn't there. I don't know if the person was too tall, he was holding it or whatever, but I wasn't there.
May I ask you this, Courtney? And Ariel, you can jump in on this as well, but I want to hear from Courtney first. Your home was raided by federal authorities, and I assume it is because of this material.
Eyebrows
is that
just
true?
like, it was like...
I wouldn't say that. They just went to every one of them looking for me. They said, the paperwork said the 24th, that I had to be there the 28th, and then it was the 27th. I said, I can't make it there, that's tomorrow. So I don't know. From the look of it, it was 4 days.
And I want to be specific. When we talk about a raid, we're talking about when a subpoena is served for documents, a search warrant or an arrest warrant. In this situation, Mr. Burgess was not in any way, shape, or form had a search warrant or an arrest warrant issued for him. It was just them serving a subpoena. So when the federal government needs to serve a subpoena, they use the Marshal Service to come to all of your residences if you have more than one residence. So in this situation, they sent marshals to all of Mr. Burgess's residences, and that was somehow construed
How many houses you got, dude?
Understood or turned into a raid, but he did not face a raid. It was just to serve him a subpoena.
A subpoena.
Ariel,
right, that does sound different, right?
Do you believe that the subpoenas were issued and executed based on the federal authorities' knowledge that these flash drives existed and had this kind of compromising material?
Well, yeah.
I think it was based on statements that Mr. Burgess made in a prior interview.
Oh.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I
mean, yeah, they're going to want the tapes.
And he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury. Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were. Right.
Sure.
Where's that magic word, alleged?
Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appeared to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appeared to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims
They
or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were, all 8 were victimized.
Yeah,
meaning
victim.
this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
And of those
Insane.
8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly 3.
2 to 3. Also on the flash drives, Courtney, was what looked to be a manuscript written by, it appears to be a woman who had taken Kim Porter's private journals and had written a book. Is that accurate?
We don't know.
I don't know.
How. Yeah.
I don't know how, who wrote it, put it together, but it was from her when I spoke to her.
What you received on the flash drives, was it the completed book or was it notes from Kim Porter that later were made into a book?
It was completed. It's only 60,
Okay.
only about 54 pages. It was
Sure, and in the beginning, it says, Kim made me promise that if something happened to her, I would make sure this book became public to the world. The way Sean moved, I knew that was a promise I would have to fulfill. Kim knew I was a woman of my word, and this book was going to make it to print. So it sounds like it is a woman who wrote up the notes from Kim Porter. Does that sound accurate?
It's how you read it, yes.
I mean, that's how,
I haven't
right?
even read the book.
Oh, wow.
Do you know who
But
the
you
woman
watched the
is?
videos?
No.
And to be clear, he received it in its complete form. So I think just to make sure we have some clarity here, the manuscript that Mr. Burgess received was already in its complete form. It's not that he edited it or changed anything.
Got it.
He did give it to someone
Makes
else
sense.
who then edited it, but that's not how he received it.
Okay, so Ariel, did your client, Courtney, receive the book from the woman who seems to have written it, saying, I'm a woman of my word, and this book is going to make it to print?
I don't know if he received it from a man or a woman. He can answer that.
I received it from a man. I tell you, somebody she was dating.
She? The lady? So then he knows who that lady is. If
the notes from the book really were from Kim Porter.
You probably don't.
It was, yes, because I spoke to her probably like
talent scout and artist
6 hours
manager.
before
Yeah, I don't know who this guy is.
You spoke to Kim Porter?
Yes.
So Kim Porter.
Just saying hi.
Okay.
Just saying hi. Didn't
Okay, Ariel, go ahead and give me clarity on the timeline.
No, I'm trying to get him to provide clarity of, was there a conversation with her?
No, I was talking to the person, and he said, hold up, this is Courtney, be right here. Let me say something to him. He said, I know him, put me on speaker. Then that's how we end up speaking.
And then later, somebody else came and brought you the manuscript.
Right. Before I left ATL.
When did he get this?
To the best of your knowledge, Courtney, do you believe that the manuscript is truly based on Kim Porter's diaries? Because there is a lot of dialogue in there. It is pages and pages of actual dialogue, which, I mean, I can't remember breakfast today, let alone dialogue from 5, 10, 15, and 20 years ago.
Yeah,
I guess this is a woman's scar. You understand? Maybe, what she been through. It's, you know, I'm not a woman, so I'm just going by how I got female friends and relatives. They always come to the house scoring because what went on in their relationship. And you can't, when you're scoring, you can't forget it.
Important to stop down here for a moment and note again that Sean Combs is accused. He has not been convicted of any crimes. And so far, everything against him is an allegation until it is proven in a court of law and a jury either decides or he decides
guilty
to
or
sign
something.
a plea deal to any of these crimes. But at this point in the story, Sean Combs is not guilty of any crimes. He is currently under indictment. He is currently being held on bail. But if you're at all curious about how Courtney Burgess feels about Diddy today, I asked him about that too. And here's what he had to say. Your lawyer just said, the story the tapes tell are the story of Diddy from the last several decades. And I know that you've known Diddy for a very long time. Can you describe what that story is based on what you now know to be true, the last several decades of Diddy's behavior and the reason he's now sitting in lockup?
I think I've been doing it for 35 years. I think we probably entered the music business at the same time. He entered with Uptown, I entered into Big Beat, Atlantic. At the time, I guess he was ambitious. He was then from ambitious went to doing anything, and then from doing anything to didn't care about nobody, who he could be, and then he ended up turning into Lucifer. Today, I look at him. I know y'all call him Diddy or Puffy. I call him Lucifer.
Okay, there you go. That's that. Yeah. So this is not good. Yeah. When did this guy get the tapes is my question. When did he get the tapes? And also, is that the same manuscript, that 54, 55 page book, whatever it is, journal thing? Is that the same as what was put on Amazon? Wasn't something put on Amazon? It's all really bad. We're not going to see any tapes. Not that I specifically want to see anything graphic like this. I just want the facts to come out. That's all. Because I feel like we didn't really get facts and justice in terms of Epstein, for example, because it's like we got what, Ghislaine Maxwell, and that's it. Just seems like there's a lot more. There's a lot more, and that's potential with this also. A lot of people that knew about it and didn't say anything. People that participated in it potentially. I mean, this sounds like it's 8 different tapes with 8 different people that were all victims. So I'm not saying that those types of names should come out specifically because those are victims. I'm not saying that, but anybody that is involved in victimizing, that's got to come out. It's got to come out. Or else it's not going to stop. You really need you can't just have like, oh, well, we got the kingpin or whatever, however you want to call it, right? We got the number one. But it's like, yeah, but no, because there's just going to be a next number one. You know, it's like, no, there needs to be a full crackdown, a full takedown. I mean, that's what I think. The full investigation, and then everybody gets held accountable. But that's the thing. Especially like the higher up you are, because you see this in politics, you see this in entertainment and just business, just anything where it's like super high up, elite, etc. type of stuff. It's like there's the accountability is severely lacking, and it sucks every time. It's just like, great. How do you disincentivize somebody from becoming a monster and doing terrible things? Now, people, right, we're human, right? People do bad things, but stuff on this kind of level, no. There just needs to be strength against that, and I just feel like we don't see it. So anyways, yeah, this is all terrible. Again, the magic word, alleged, right? Allegations. what's real, what's true. He's fighting it. You know, he's got a ton of money. He's got the best lawyers that he can get, all of that, right? We'll see what happens. More is going to keep coming out. More is going to keep coming out. So, you know, I'll be checking it out because I think it's crazy. And yeah, who else is going to be taken down? We'll see. All right, I'll catch you later.